Okay, so the question is, how do a birth injury attorney like myself, how do we know what caused your baby's traumatic brain injury, or whether it was medical malpractice that caused the injury at birth? And in our context, we're going to be talking about HIE, hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. And for those who may be new to the HIE journey, in our context, HIE is a reduction in blood and oxygen, which can lead to a baby suffering a brain injury. And so when we're doing these cases, you got to kind of step back and understand that there are certain elements that we must prove. And those elements will kind of boil down to whether there was a departure from the standard of care, and whether that departure from the standard of care is what caused the injury or the harm to your baby. That is very important that you understand that, because what that means is that just because you may have a result that you were not expecting, that does not necessarily mean that medical malpractice is what caused the injury or the harm. So it's really important that we go through these elements, and we have to use medical experts, certain types of doctors and experts that we use to get an understanding of not only what was the standard of care in your circumstances, but whether there was a departure from that standard of care, which is what caused the injury or the harm. And so I know that I talked about a lot in this video, but it's important that you understand that this is how birth injury attorneys like myself, this is how we go through this process. And I just want to give you a peek inside some of these issues. If you have more questions, maybe you're watching this video because your baby has suffered the traumatic brain injury, HIE, and you have questions about some of these issues. Well, there's a telephone number on the screen. What I invite you to do is to go ahead and pick up the phone and call me. I speak with families about these types of issues all the time: HIE, cerebral palsy, MAS, shoulder dystocia. This is what we do. And remember, it costs you nothing. It doesn't cost anything to talk with us about your baby story. When you call my office, just let my secretary know, let them know that you like to get on our calendar and set up some time to talk with us. One more thing before I go. I practice law here in the state of Maryland, and because this video is on the internet, I can't control who's watching it and who's listening to everything. And so if you're not in Maryland, just understand that we have to use what we call co-counsel or local counsel. In other words, an attorney in your state. And that's something that we can work with you on, but I just want to make sure that you understand that co-counsel or that local counsel aspect of things. All right. That's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law here in the state of Maryland at Boston Law Group, LLC. We'll talk with you next time. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.